Hello, my name's Arthur Forrester. I'm a logistics consultant. Prior to being a logistics consultant, I was in the Australian Army for 21 years. During the period 1970 to 1991. I did not see operational service during my Army time, but I do remember how some of my friends returned from their service. World War II and World War I saw members of my family serve in both wars. My father, who served in Papua New Guinea. My grandfather, he was in the First World War. I know that their stories were very important to me when I was able to understand what was going on through their minds. In my early school years, I was a member of the Army School Cadets, and on each Anzac Day we paraded with the soldiers that fought. I was very proud to do this, and I'm very proud of my father and all of his brothers that served as well. Later in life, when I was married, I learnt that my wife's family also served, and her grandfather was in the Boer War. So there's been a fair transition of military service throughout my life. I have a few friends that served in Vietnam. I think that their performance is worthy that of any of the Anzacs. It's important to me to remember those that have given their lives for us to have a freedom in Australia. Also with the Kiwis, the New Zealanders who fought alongside the Australian troops at Anzac Cove and Gallipoli in 1915. It's important, as I said, to me to be able to give remembrance and thanks to those that have given their lives during war and since. For a period of time in my late Army career, I served as the community service officer for the ACT, Army's community service officer. This role gave me an understanding of how some of the parents of those soldiers that were fighting at the time felt, what they were worried about, and how they were also very proud of what their children were doing. It's hard to put into words the feeling that you get when you attend an Anzac Day service. I've been to many places around the world to attend an Anzac Day services. I went to Hellfire Pass in Thailand, where my wife's uncle had been during the Second World War, and I felt that a little closer to those that had been there just by going and saying thanks at that site. Last year I went to New Zealand and visited Anzac Day service near Wellington, and I saw a slight difference in the service over there. what happened was at this service in New Zealand, the remembrance was not only for the fallen soldiers, but also for the families who lost their loved ones, and for the work that they did in New Zealand while their children, husbands, were away fighting, both in the First World War, Second World War, Vietnam. And now, of course, the legend is continuing of the Anzacs by the fighting of Australian and New Zealand soldiers through the Middle East, Afghanistan. My next door neighbour of some 15 years, son, has joined the army, and he has been to the theatres of war and also some peacekeeping missions. And I find that this has been very important to remember that it is children, young adults, that are leaving our shores to help keep Australia a safe and friendly nation. I think in the spirit of ANZAC that all Australians, as we are a multicultural country, are protected by the spirit of those that fought through the years to keep Australia a safe nation. In the end, I would like to say that I am slightly touched by my friends that had done war service and have helped to protect my family and my friends here in Australia. Thank you for listening to my story.